Welcome to the 18-plus horror podcast. Stories too dark for the daylight. If you're brave enough, like and subscribe before it finds you.
The Cecil Hotel, a name synonymous with decay, despair, and the macabre. It's a place where history seems to seep through the walls, staining every corridor with the residue of violence and tragedy. And in the heart of this unsettling building, a young woman named Elisa Lam vanished, leaving behind a chilling enigma that continues to baffle investigators and fuel countless nightmares. Her disappearance wasn't just sudden, it was bizarre, defying logical explanation. The last known sighting of her was captured on the hotel's security footage, a video so disturbing, so surreal, that it became a viral sensation, sparking a whirlwind of speculation and conspiracy theories. What we see in that grainy footage isn't just a woman behaving strangely, it's a glimpse into something unsettling, something that hints at a darkness far deeper than the dingy hallways of the Cecil.
That elevator footage. It's almost impossible to watch without a shiver crawling down your spine. Elisa's erratic movements, the way she peers out of the elevator as if hiding from someone, her seemingly nonsensical gestures. It's like watching a silent film depicting a descent into madness. And then, the way she steps out of the frame, vanishing as if absorbed by the very walls of the hotel, it's as if she stepped into another dimension. The doors close, the elevator moves on, and she's gone. Just like that. But the truly disturbing detail is the apparent randomness of it all. There's no clear indication of threat, no visible pursuer. The question that haunts us is, what was she so terrified of? What unseen force was driving her to behave in such a peculiar manner?
The timeline surrounding Elisa's disappearance is riddled with inconsistencies and unsettling details. She was traveling alone, staying at the Cecil, a hotel with a notorious history of suicides, murders, and unexplained deaths. She was supposed to check out and travel to Santa Cruz, but she never made it. Her daily calls to her family abruptly stopped, raising the alarm. Hotel staff reported strange occurrences, complaints about disruptions to the water supply, complaints about low water pressure, and a strange taste and color to the water. And then, weeks after her disappearance, her body was discovered in one of the hotel's water tanks on the roof, a grim discovery that only deepened the mystery. How did she get up there? The roof access was locked and alarmed. Was she alone? Or was there something more sinister at play?
The official explanation, accidental drowning, leaves more questions than answers. The fact that her body was found in a water tank, a location difficult to access unnoticed, raises immediate red flags. How could she have gotten into the tank in the first place? The lid was heavy and difficult to manipulate. Some theories suggest foul play, while others delve into the realm of the paranormal, pointing to the Cecil's dark history and the possibility of something supernatural influencing events. Even the behavior exhibited in the elevator footage has been interpreted as everything from a psychotic episode to a desperate attempt to communicate with an unseen entity. The truth, whatever it may be, remains elusive, shrouded in a chilling ambiguity that continues to fuel speculation and morbid fascination.
We're standing here, almost a decade later, still chilled by the inexplicable events surrounding Elisa Lam's disappearance and death at the Cecil Hotel in 2013. This decaying downtown Los Angeles landmark, with its history of suicides, murders, and suspected hauntings, served as the backdrop to a truly unsettling mystery. Elisa, a 21-year-old Canadian student, was last seen alive on January 31st, behaving strangely in a hotel elevator. The security footage, released by the LAPD, shows her pushing buttons seemingly at random, peeking in and out of the elevator, and gesturing as if talking to someone unseen. The doors never close, and she eventually disappears from view. It's a disturbing piece of footage that sparked a wave of online speculation and amateur sleuthing. We're here to dissect the timeline, the evidence, and the unsettling theories that continue to shroud this case in mystery. What makes this case so gripping, in your opinion?
The Cecil Hotel's notorious past certainly adds a layer of unease. It's a place steeped in darkness, having housed serial killers like Richard Ramirez and Jack Unterweger. This history, coupled with the grainy, unsettling elevator footage, paints a picture of a place where the line between reality and the supernatural seems blurred. Elisa's behavior in the elevator is truly baffling. Was she experiencing a psychotic episode? Was she being pursued? Or was something else at play? Something more sinister? The footage raises more questions than answers, and that's precisely what fuels the enduring fascination with this case. The fact that her body was later discovered in one of the hotel's water tanks, weeks after she disappeared, only deepens the mystery. How did she get there? The access to the rooftop was restricted, and the tanks themselves were difficult to reach. It's a logistical puzzle that continues to baffle investigators and internet sleuths alike.
Let's delve into the timeline. Elisa arrived at the Cecil Hotel on January 26th, initially sharing a room. However, due to complaints about her behavior, described as odd by her roommates, she was moved to a private room a few days later. This isolation, in a place as unsettling as the Cecil, is a crucial detail. Think about it. A young woman, alone in a strange city, in a hotel with a dark history. Then, we have the last confirmed sighting on January 31st, the elevator footage. What happened between then and February 19th, the day her body was discovered? The LAPD ruled her death an accidental drowning, citing bipolar disorder as a contributing factor. However, many questions remain unanswered. The toxicology report found no traces of drugs in her system that would explain her erratic behavior in the elevator. And then there's the issue of the water tank. How could she have gotten up there, opened the heavy lid, and ended up inside?
The sheer improbability of her getting into the water tank is a major sticking point for many. The lid was heavy, and the tanks themselves were located in an area not easily accessible to guests. Some have theorized foul play, suggesting that someone else placed her body in the tank. Others have pointed to the hotel's history, whispering about supernatural involvement. While these theories might seem far-fetched, the lack of a definitive explanation leaves room for speculation. The fact that the LAPD's investigation concluded with a ruling of accidental drowning, despite these lingering questions, hasn't satisfied everyone. This perceived lack of closure further fuels the conspiracy theories and online discussions, turning the case into a modern-day urban legend. The unsettling atmosphere of the Cecil Hotel, the baffling elevator footage, and the tragic discovery of Elisa's body create a chilling narrative that continues to captivate and disturb.
The Cecil Hotel, already steeped in a grim history of suicides and murders, became the backdrop for an even more unsettling mystery in 2013. Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old student from British Columbia, checked in on January 26th and was last seen alive on January 31st. The initial days of her stay seemed uneventful, according to hotel staff. She was described as behaving normally, interacting politely, and presenting no signs of distress or unusual behavior. Surveillance footage from inside the hotel elevator, however, captured her last known moments. This footage, time-stamped February 1st, is where things start to get truly bizarre. It's this initial glimpse into the strange behavior leading up to her disappearance that makes you feel something is profoundly off.
The elevator video is disturbing on multiple levels. It shows Elisa entering the elevator, pressing multiple buttons, and then seemingly hiding in the corner. Her movements are erratic. She steps in and out of the elevator, peers down the hallway, gesticulates as if talking to someone, yet no one else is visible. The doors refuse to close, and she continues these strange actions for several minutes. At one point, she steps out of the elevator and seems to be waving her arms in a fluid, almost dance-like motion. It's difficult to interpret her behavior. Is she hiding from someone? Is she hallucinating? Is she trying to communicate something? The lack of a clear explanation for her actions is what truly fuels the unease. It's the first concrete piece of evidence suggesting that something was seriously wrong.
The timeline adds another layer of mystery. The footage was taken on February 1st. Her disappearance wasn't officially reported until February 6th, after her family contacted the LAPD. What happened during those intervening days? Where was she? The hotel staff reported no further sightings, and despite extensive searches of the hotel, no trace of her could be found. The LAPD released the elevator footage to the public, hoping someone could shed light on her strange behavior, but it only served to amplify the unsettling nature of the case and generated a wave of speculation and theories many venturing into the realm of the paranormal given the hotel's dark history.
Beyond the elevator footage, witness accounts from the days leading up to her disappearance are fragmented and contradictory. Some guests reported hearing screams and disturbances coming from her floor, while others claimed she was seen talking to herself in the hallways. The inconsistency in these accounts makes it incredibly difficult to construct a coherent narrative of her final days. It's a puzzle with missing pieces, leaving a chilling sense of uncertainty. Did these witnesses actually see Elisa, or were their accounts influenced by the growing media frenzy surrounding the case? The lack of definitive proof makes it all the more disturbing.
The elevator footage. It's the crux of this whole nightmare. Elisa Lam, acting erratically, pushing buttons, peering out as if someone's there, then hiding in the corner, gesturing almost frantically. It's been analyzed frame by frame, scrutinized by experts and amateurs alike, yet no one can definitively explain her behavior. Some suggest a drug-induced psychosis, others point to bipolar disorder, which she was diagnosed with, but neither fully explains the strange movements, the seemingly deliberate hiding, the apparent communication with someone unseen, and the elevator doors, malfunctioning, staying open for an abnormally long time, adds another layer of unsettling oddity. It's as though the very mechanics of the building were conspiring against her. The footage raises more questions than it answers, plunging us deeper into the unsettling mystery of Elisa Lam.
The Cecil Hotel itself has a dark history, a breeding ground for tragedy. Suicides, overdoses, murders. It's practically steeped in misfortune. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, reportedly stayed there during his killing spree, adding to the hotel's grim reputation. This backdrop of despair almost seems to amplify the strangeness of Elisa's case. It's as though the hotel itself is a malevolent entity, drawing in troubled souls and feeding off their despair. Some even whisper of a supernatural influence, a dark energy clinging to the building's walls. While such theories are difficult to prove, they're hard to dismiss entirely when faced with the sheer weight of unsettling events surrounding the Cecil. The hotel's past inevitably colors our perception of Elisa's disappearance, making it seem even more sinister and inexplicable. It's as if the building itself played a part in her fate.
Then there's the discovery of her body, found in one of the water tanks on the hotel roof, a location accessible only through locked doors and alarms. How did she get up there? How did she manage to get inside the tank? The official explanation, that she climbed up there herself and somehow got inside, seems almost impossible given the circumstances. The tank's lid was heavy, and the access route was complex and secured. The idea of her doing this alone, while seemingly suffering from a mental health episode, stretches the bounds of credibility. The lack of a clear explanation for how her body ended up where it did fuels speculation, whispering of foul play and darker forces at work. It's a chilling detail that casts a long shadow over the entire case.
The water complaints from guests add another disturbing layer to the story. Guests reporting foul-tasting, discolored water, low water pressure, all occurring around the time Elisa was missing, and unknowingly in the water tank. It's a gruesome thought, the realization that people were unknowingly consuming water contaminated by, well, we won't dwell on the specifics. The timing is too coincidental to ignore, adding a horrific, almost surreal dimension to the tragedy. It's as if the hotel itself was revealing its grim secret, crying out in a way that was both subtle and profoundly disturbing. It's a detail that lingers in the mind, turning the stomach and adding to the pervasive sense of unease surrounding this case. How could this have gone unnoticed for so long?
The elevator footage. It's the keystone of this whole nightmare, the piece that just refuses to fit. Elisa Lam, acting erratically, pushing buttons seemingly at random, hiding in the corner as if someone or something were just outside the frame. Then, she steps out into the hallway, gestures with her hands, almost like she's talking to someone, though the camera picks up no sound. Back into the elevator, more frantic button pushing, more hiding. The doors never close. It's a chilling loop, playing over and over in the minds of anyone who's seen it. What was she seeing? Who was she talking to? Theories range from a psychotic break to a supernatural encounter, but none of them truly satisfy. The ambiguity is what truly terrifies, the unanswered questions clinging to you like a shroud.
And then there's the matter of how she ended up in the water tank. The rooftop was secured, the alarm system apparently functioning. The tanks themselves were difficult to access, requiring scaling a ladder and maneuvering through a heavy hatch. How did Elisa, alone and seemingly disoriented, manage this? Some have suggested foul play, but there's no concrete evidence to support this. Others whisper of the Cecil's dark history, the suicides, the murders, the unexplained occurrences that have plagued the hotel for decades. Was she somehow influenced, drawn to the roof by some unseen force connected to the hotel's grim past? It's a chilling thought, the idea that the building itself might be complicit in her demise.
The discovery of her body weeks later, by guests complaining of low water pressure and a strange taste, adds another layer of horror. Imagine unknowingly drinking, showering, brushing your teeth with water contaminated that way. The thought is nauseating. The hotel's already grim reputation cemented in the public consciousness as a place of dread, a modern-day house of horrors. And through it all, Elisa's final moments, captured in that grainy elevator footage, continue to play on a loop, a silent scream trapped in the digital ether. A permanent resident of the Cecil's unsettling history.
The official cause of death was ruled accidental drowning, attributed to bipolar disorder, a tragic but seemingly explainable conclusion. Yet, the circumstances surrounding her death, the strangeness of the elevator footage, the difficulty of accessing the water tank, the hotel's history, it all creates this unsettling dissonance. The official explanation feels insufficient, like a puzzle piece forced into the wrong slot. And this feeling, this lingering unease, is perhaps the most disturbing aspect of the entire case. It leaves a chilling residue, a sense that something more, something darker remains hidden just beneath the surface. Something we may never truly understand.
The Cecil Hotel, already steeped in a grim history of suicides, overdoses, and unexplained deaths, seemed to amplify the unsettling nature of Elisa Lam's disappearance. We've discussed the chilling elevator footage, her erratic behavior, and the ultimate discovery of her body in the water tank. But what if the hotel itself played a more sinister role? Some speculate that the Cecil attracts, or perhaps even harbors, a dark energy. Think about the sheer number of violent and tragic incidents within its walls. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, resided there during his killing spree. Serial killer Jack Unterweger also stayed at the Cecil, while claiming more victims. Is it merely a coincidence, a grim pattern of misfortune, or something more malevolent at play? The hotel's past, interwoven with such darkness, almost casts Elisa's case as another chapter in a larger, horrifying narrative. It's as if the building itself is a character in this tragedy.
It's a disturbing thought, and one that's hard to dismiss. Consider the practicalities of Elisa's case. How did she gain access to the roof, a supposedly secured area? How did she manage to get into the water tank, given its size, weight, and the difficulty in closing it from the inside? These questions remain largely unanswered, fueling speculation of something more sinister than a simple accidental drowning. Theories range from foul play to the influence of unseen forces. Some believe Elisa might have been experiencing a psychotic episode, perhaps exacerbated by the hotel's oppressive atmosphere. Others point to a possible connection with the tuberculosis outbreak in Skid Row around the same time, referencing a test used to detect the disease called the Lam-Elisa test. While seemingly a bizarre coincidence, the similarity of names adds another layer of unsettling ambiguity to this already perplexing case.
And that's where we delve into the truly unnerving territory. Beyond the logical explanations, the unanswered questions, lies the realm of the unexplained. Some local historians whisper of a curse on the land where the Cecil stands. Tales of restless spirits and unresolved tragedies from decades past. Could Elisa have become another victim of this supposed curse, drawn into a dark vortex within the hotel itself? While it's easy to dismiss such notions as mere superstition, the sheer weight of the Cecil's grim history lends a certain chilling credibility to these darker theories. It's difficult to reconcile the known facts with the inexplicable circumstances surrounding her death. The more we delve into the details, the more it seems that Elisa Lam's tragedy transcends a simple missing person case and becomes a chilling testament to the enduring power of the unknown.
The truth, as elusive as it remains, likely resides somewhere within the intersection of these narratives. We have the tangible, the timeline, the evidence, the known history of the Cecil. And then we have the intangible, the unsettling atmosphere, the unanswered questions, the whispers of the supernatural. Perhaps Elisa Lam's story serves as a stark reminder that some mysteries, some tragedies, defy easy explanation. They linger in the shadows, clinging to the places where they occurred, a chilling echo of unanswered questions and unresolved grief. The Cecil Hotel, a silent witness to countless tragedies, stands as a stark monument to this very idea, a place where the boundaries between the real and the unreal seem perpetually blurred.
The final days leading up to Elisa Lam's discovery are shrouded in an almost unbearable level of unease. We know from the elevator footage, analyzed countless times, that her behavior was erratic. The pressing of buttons, the hiding in the corner, the seemingly frantic gestures. It's as if she was trying to communicate with something unseen, or perhaps evade something we can't perceive. What's even more disturbing is the fact that the elevator doors never closed properly during that sequence. They seemed to malfunction, remaining open for an extended period, as if something was preventing them from shutting. This raises a chilling question. Was something else in the elevator with her? Something just outside the camera's limited view? And how did she end up on the roof, an area supposedly inaccessible to guests? The rooftop access door was alarmed, and yet, no alarm was triggered. The mystery only deepens.
The official cause of death, accidental drowning, doesn't sit right with many who've delved into the case. How did she manage to get into the water tank, a tightly sealed container on a secured rooftop? It's almost physically impossible for someone to close the lid from the inside. Then there's the issue of the water tanks themselves. They held hundreds of gallons of water. How could a petite woman like Elisa overcome the water pressure to even get inside? Furthermore, the autopsy found no evidence of forced entry or foul play, no signs of a struggle. But the very nature of her being found inside a water tank on a locked roof suggests something far more sinister than a simple accident. It feels like we're missing a vital piece of the puzzle, a crucial detail intentionally obscured, or perhaps simply overlooked.
The Cecil Hotel itself has a dark history, rife with suicides, murders, and unexplained deaths. Some believe the hotel is a magnet for negative energy, a conduit for the paranormal. Could Elisa have been influenced by some unseen force within the hotel? The stories surrounding the hotel, combined with the strangeness of her disappearance, paint a truly terrifying picture. The fact that her blog, filled with literary references and personal reflections, abruptly stopped updating just days before her disappearance adds another layer of mystery. Was she trying to tell us something, leaving a cryptic message within her posts? We may never have definitive answers, and that, perhaps, is the most unsettling aspect of it all.
And here's where the case takes an even more unsettling turn. Just weeks after Elisa Lam's body was discovered, there was an outbreak of tuberculosis in Skid Row, the area surrounding the Cecil Hotel. The testing method used to identify the outbreak? The Lam-Elisa test. A chilling coincidence, a morbidly ironic twist of fate, or something more. It's the kind of detail that fuels conspiracy theories, the kind of eerie connection that makes this case so endlessly fascinating and deeply disturbing. Was it just a strange coincidence, a dark joke played by the universe, or is there something more to it that we simply cannot grasp? Perhaps we'll never truly know. The mystery of Elisa Lam remains, a chilling echo in the halls of the infamous Cecil Hotel.
So we've dissected the timeline, the elevator footage, the water tank discovery, and we're left with more questions than answers. How did Elisa Lam get into the water tank? The access was supposedly difficult, requiring ladders and locked doors. Was she alone? The footage shows some odd behavior, almost as if she's interacting with someone unseen. And then there's the unsettling history of the Cecil Hotel itself, a backdrop steeped in darkness, suicide, and unexplained deaths. It's a place that seems to attract, or perhaps even cultivate, tragedy. The tuberculosis testing connection, while potentially plausible, feels almost too coincidental, too convenient. It leaves a lingering unease. The entire case is like a puzzle with missing pieces, and the pieces we do have simply don't fit.
The official explanation, accidental drowning with bipolar disorder as a contributing factor, feels inadequate. It doesn't account for the sheer strangeness of the circumstances. The way she's moving in the elevator, almost hiding, then peeking out, gesturing. It's as if she's playing a deadly game of hide and seek, with something we can't see. And the reports of guests complaining about the water pressure and taste before her body was discovered, black water, some even said, adds another layer of disturbing detail. Even if we dismiss the more outlandish theories involving the supernatural, we're still left with a profound sense of unease. Something doesn't add up. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes, even in the most mundane of settings, the truly inexplicable can occur.
It's the unanswered questions that haunt you. How did Elisa Lam end up in the water tank? What was she doing in the elevator? Was someone else involved? These questions linger, echoing in the desolate hallways of the Cecil Hotel, a place that seems to hold its secrets close. And even with all the investigations, all the theories, all the attempts to rationalize what happened, the truth, like the dark water that once flowed from the taps, remains murky and unsettling. It's a tragedy that continues to baffle and disturb, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the mysteries that lie hidden in plain sight.
The case of Elisa Lam serves as a chilling reminder that reality can be far more terrifying than fiction. The unanswered questions, the strange circumstances, the unsettling location, it all combines to create a narrative that continues to grip our collective imagination. It's a story that stays with you, a chilling whisper in the back of your mind, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks just beneath the surface of the everyday. If you're intrigued by these kinds of mysteries, we encourage you to delve deeper into the case yourself. Explore the available evidence, consider the various theories, and draw your own conclusions. But be warned, the rabbit hole goes deep, and what you find at the bottom may disturb you more than you ever imagined.
That was this week's dive into darkness. Subscribe to the 18+ Horror Podcast and come back if you can sleep again.
You've been listening to Whispers After Midnight. Sweet dreams, if you can sleep.